thank you for coming. This is kind of an impromptu karaoke stream. I did not plan on doing one of these today. Just plan on playing the horse game, training El Condor Pasa to be the best horse she can be. But then I learned of the news that Ozzy Osbourne passed away. I don't know if anybody else in chat feels the same as me, but Ozzy Osbourne was genuinely one of the most important and influential people to my development as a human being. And I wanted to share that today because the fact that he lived to 76 is amazing. It really is. And when it comes to deaths like this that really affect me, I want to spend more time celebrating what made them great than being sad that they're gone. I did the same, obviously this is very different, but I did the same when my dog Blue passed away about a month ago. His emote is still there as a follower emote. It will forever live on there. But Ozzy Osbourne's obviously a little bit different. He is a singer. He never knew who I was. I never knew him personally. But regardless, when it comes to public figures, he was really influential to me. Like the bedrock of my musical interests, the bedrock that got me into heavy metal, rock music in general, that got me interested in listening to music in any kind of critical way, the desire to seek out music. Ozzy Osbourne was kind of the reason for that. He was very important to the person I ended up being. He was. For not just because his music is good. Not just because there does not exist an Ozzy Osbourne solo album that I don't like. Not just because he's an entertaining person. But there's just something about this guy, dude. It's so rare when you see, a 70-year-old rocker, 76-year-old rocker pass away. Just everyone is sad about it. Whether you like rock music or not, whether you care about Ozzy Osbourne's music or not, whether you're 15, whether you're 30, whether you're 60, whether you're 8. There's few people in the industry that were as respected as him. King and a prince. Hello, Ghost Gal. Glad you could hop in. I'm just getting mushy for a second. There's just a few standout things that come to mind when it comes to Ozzy Osbourne as a person. The one that always comes to mind was way back when the Westboro Baptist Church did a parody of Crazy Train that was very Westboro Baptist churchy, very hateful, very negative, very much in the idea that God is a wrathful being. I'm not religious, but Ozzy Osbourne was, to my understanding. He seemed like a very faithful man. And his reaction really spoke to his character. He didn't just let it go. He didn't, it was a parody. There's nothing he could do about it legally. It was within free speech, I believe. But you bet he spoke out and said how much it pissed him off to see Crazy Train used for such a hateful purpose. Didn't have to say anything. He did, chose to. And of course, his final performance, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, was Ozzy Osbourne's final performance. It was a farewell concert celebrating Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. And let me look up the number, because it's unbelievable. This is from goodnewsnetwork.org. Prince of Darkness made his official curtain call recently with a benefit concert for Parkinson's research children's hospitals that raised a staggering $190 million, featuring a star-studded lineup of heavy metal greats and culminating in Black Sabbath's final performance. The concert was live-streamed by millions around the world after tickets for the Birmingham show sold out in just 16 minutes. Rage Against the Machine's guitarist, Tom Morello, another real stand-up guy, served as a music director for an event he hoped would be remembered for all time. The mountain of proceeds went to cure Parkinson's, which Osbourne suffered from. And you could see that in his performance. He was very, very shaky. And he was sitting through the whole thing on an incredible throne. So the aesthetic worked. But you could kind of see the health that he was in in his final days. In addition to raising money to cure Parkinson's, also for the Birmingham Children's Hospital and Acorn Children's Hospice. $190 million. I believe I read that, I'm not sure it says in this article, but I believe I read that it was the most money raised by a charity concert in history. And to have that be, organizing that, have that be one of his final acts on this planet. That's amazing. It was really great. You have to go out as a king. Yeah. I've not cried yet. I'm really close. I hadn't looked in, I knew about the concert. I actually didn't know it was for charity. So that's amazing. It is amazing. But that's how he went out. I feel like there was one more thing that stood out about that I'm not thinking of right now. He just seemed like, okay, yeah, there is one more thing before I continue, because I want to sing a few more songs before we move on. Ozzy Osbourne, I don't think he wrote most of his music, like in terms of lyrics. He obviously had a hand in it. But one thing I always respected about Ozzy Osbourne's music is its focus on mental health. Ozzy Osbourne, of course, infamously has done an absurd amount of drugs in his time. Frankly, the fact that he lived to 76 is a miracle. I believe I've read, I don't know how true this is, that his body is literally built different. Literally built different. Like they've done like genetic tests on him. And it's like, how are you alive? We need to figure that shit out. And he is actually built different. But, in a lot of heavy metal music, mental illness is kind of portrayed very scarily. But Ozzy Osbourne always all of his lyrics about like schizophrenia and depression and addiction, even a couple of songs about porn addiction. I don't know if that's something he suffered from personally, but I mean, he wrote 2 songs about it. So I imagine it's somewhat close to him. Like when a lot of other artists, including artists that I like a lot, through their music or otherwise, portray mental illness as something that's kind of scary and like almost a horror movie sense. I don't think there's anything directly wrong with. I'm not here to call that out. But the way Ozzy sung about mental illness felt so different. It felt so different. It felt personal. It felt respectful almost. About the struggles that you go through when you're suffering from addiction and mental illness and such. It was still scary. It still had that tinge of horror that you like to see a lot in heavy metal of the time. It was atmospheric, but it always felt personal. And that means a lot, As someone who suffers from depression, I've never suffered with addiction, obviously not schizophrenia. I don't know if he had schizophrenia, actually. He sung about it a lot. I wouldn't be surprised. Down-to-earth quality in a lot of his lyrics. Yeah, really, he did. That's what helped him stand out. Because, 80s heavy metal, in the 70s, he was a part of what made heavy metal exist in the first place. He set the tone. He set the, like, he and Black Sabbath set the sound, like, on track to heavy metal becoming what it is and the themes that it approaches. Particularly, like, again, the supernatural, anti-war songs, you know, like War Pigs, Hands of Doom. Heavy metal's always been political, guys, from the literal beginning. And then into the 80s, like when Ozzy split from Black Sabbath and did his solo stuff, like not only did it create its own sound, it created its own vibe. And what set him apart, you know, he wasn't singing about, he does not have a lot of songs about, like, sex or anything like that. And believe it or not, he doesn't even swear in a lot of his music. Ozzy Osbourne's known to have a sailor mouth to end them all. But they're, like, you could probably count on one hand the number of times he says fuck in his songs. And one of those is by Post Malone. Yeah, I'm sad today, but we are going to celebrate too. Ozzy Osbourne had an incredible career. He led an unparalleled life. No one lived a life like Ozzy Osbourne did. And I want to respect that today. And I thank you all for showing up. I don't know how important he was to y'all, or if y'all read the news, I was like, oh, that's sad. But he meant a lot to me. And I didn't want to put this off any more than today, which is why we're doing this impromptu karaoke segment, rather. Once we're done, don't worry, we're going to get back to funny gaming time. We're going to play some Uma Musume later. I'll probably do karaoke for like maybe another 45 minutes. And then we'll get back to the horse game. And we will have a good time. But I needed to do this. Not that I wanted to do it. I mean, I did, but I needed to do this. It was too important to me. So here, let's sing another song. Let's sing another song. We started with Mama, I'm Coming Home, so it's a bit of a heavy start, like emotionally heavy rather than musically heavy. Let's get musically heavy. Let's have a good fucking time. Let's pick up the tempo. As he would say, go fucking crazy!